soldiers being tough, UKSF selection making you being mentally tough. Where does it all start? It starts when you get off that platform at Livingston and you jump into foundation. That's where your mental toughness really.
Yeah. Where have you been?
Mate, like I've changed, you know, man. Like, look at my tan.
Yeah, that hairline's a little bit further south as well.
I know. Like I'm going full SF. That's halfway. It's nearly halfway down my nose. I'm still going with it. Well, mate, I've been away for the summer working. We've been at our day jobs, haven't we? Both of us.
Yeah. It's funny how it's worked out that we, like, for those that don't know, me and James are in effectively the same industry, but probably is at both ends. James is at the right, I'm at the left. We want to talk about that, actually, because there's a lot of questions coming in about mainly what does an SF operator or former SF operator do after service. We talked about that because, it's close protection effectively, isn't it? If you want to call it something, that's kind of the umbrella term, isn't it?
That's when people say to me, what do I do for work? I work in the security industry.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the label on it. But listen, we'll get into it in this episode. Let's be real. I mean, it's a tough industry, isn't it? It's a tough industry to maintain your discipline, not your discipline, but your approach as a CPO, as a close protection officer, because I'm just going to say it straight. It gets massively diluted down by the client most of the time, in my experience. I know there's jobs out there where there's a lot of CP operators who are very, very CP specific. And I mean, if I was to try and make an assessment of that, just off the top of my head, would you say, Ryan, that those jobs are the ones that are primarily still out in theatres of conflict, such as Kabul, such as Baghdad, such as Tripoli? That's Libya, yeah?
Those areas, yeah. I mean, typically Middle East.
Testing my geography there.
Typically, like your Middle Eastern areas and Africa is the stereotype CP role that people would think that we would be getting into. For myself personally, and we'll get into this episode is close protection orientated a little bit, but mine couldn't be any further than that. It's got nothing to do with hostile deserts, weaponry and stuff like that, and I know yours probably hasn't either. So I guess we'll open the conversation up about our industry and how we fit in it. But the reason we've been away, guys, long introduction actually, but the generic reason that we've had to kind of take a break is all for good reasons, really. There's not a bad reason about it, to be fair. James you've been, is estranged to your family? Are your kids the right word? You're back in with them now, aren't you?
Hey,
so it's...
Well, we spoke about that on not the last episode, the episode before, wasn't it? I was quite open with the mental health issues of and the effects of the military service. I mentioned that I hadn't seen my kids in 5 years. I hadn't seen them since 2020, January of 2020. And I had the opportunity this year to start to build a relationship with them again. And this is my first summer holiday with them, so it's a new experience for me, we were just joking about it when we were in hell. I'm getting used to being rinsed for like £150 lunches in like typical quintessential Kentish pubs on greens. Like, I'm looking at my kids thinking, you're your mother's son all day long.
and I'm not quite there yet to say no to this. You got a bit of groundwork to do yet, but it's a good reason we took a bit of a break. But trust us, guys, when we say this, and this is not really podcast material actually, but because we want to integrate the audience with what we're currently doing, and we want to be transparent with that and kind of showcase to you guys, you can come from a real bad place, And with the mindsets that we've both got, mainly probably from the Royal Marines, actually, and I'm speaking for myself there, and actually
Brian,
build
sorry,
something
can I just
from
say,
that.
sorry to jump in. What you just said there about from the Royal Marines, everyone's got this whole like notion of SF soldiers being tough, UKSF selection making you know, being mentally tough. Where does it all start? It starts when you get off that platform at Lympstone and you jump into foundation. That's where your mental toughness really begins. Yeah. But you know, that's where the real assessment begins.
And I think we spoke offline, guys, about where we actually going to take this podcast. There's loads of podcasts out there. There's only so much stuff we can talk about in terms of, you know, your former military career, my former military career. There's only so much you can scrape from that, really. And what we wanted to do is build something to be a part of Frontline. And we've created an entire business within, how long are we talking, James? What's the time frame, in honest?
2 months, I think.
About 6 to 8 weeks we've went from idea, concept to let's really push this, and we've been growing a business, and it's ready to launch probably by the end of September. I reckon we'll be having our first product. Is that accurate, do you think?
Yeah, and do you know what? The great thing about it is, I mean, we were talking about sponsors for the channel. We said, do you know what? Listen, why don't we sponsor ourselves with a product? What do we believe in?
Yeah.
The product which we're going to bring out is something that, well, I in particular, I mean, I really believe in it. I mean, I use it. I search for it. I try to get the best version of it. I believe in it, you know?
Yeah. I think the kind of spark aligned when we were talking about, look, guys in the Marines we all like our fizz, we like our gym, we like weights, we like supplements. Took very similar supplements in our time. We're from a similar generation of what we do. You know, you can't beat a good creatine, a BCAA. You used to take glutamine with that. We've designed something that's, you know, fit for purpose, and we can't wait to showcase that with you guys. We'll talk a bit more about that at the end, actually, in terms of the business venture. But we just wanted to kind of let you guys know we've been away, but with purpose. We haven't just wrapped. We've actually been as busy as ever, to be honest with you, on the phone building stuff. Yeah,
we have been busy. I've been conscious, though, you know, because I mean, with my CP work at the moment, the job I'm doing at the moment, it's really, I mean, mainly for the respect of the client's privacy with locations, etc. It's really hard to post, and you know, we're looking to pick it back up again, Ryan, aren't we? I mean, we were just saying again the other day, some of the questions that are coming through on the podcast, we're looking at doing some episodes where we address those questions. You know, we start answering your questions with regards to the military. We start answering, you know, if you've got any questions, fire them away. It comes with the caveat of, if I can't answer them from my specifics, as in like the UKSF and SRR subject, then I simply won't. I know that you'll try your luck.
they'll try, and they'll ask them anyway. So, but as a kind of move forward, we're going to be dropping a lot of business news. The business content's going to be orientated around the military, around the close protection, around the fitness side of things. Anyway, more of that information to come at the end. But close protection. Did you understand when you joined the Corps in 2006-07 that close protection would have been a potential route for you post-service? Because I kind of did. I knew that actually that's something that I wouldn't mind getting into, and I know that this is probably going to be a half-decent route into it, if that makes sense.
You know, it wasn't with the Corps that became apparent to me. That was my feelings when I joined SRR. I was more focused on what could my UKSF CV provide me than with regards to life after the military. I was more focused on that at that time than I was when I went to Lympstone. At Lympstone, all I was, you know, is right. I mean,
green
for me
lid.
personally, I'm focused on the green lid. Green lid. That is it. Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, you're just going to have to bear with me, mate. My power cable's just fallen out my laptop and the battery will die, so give me a second.
Don't worry about it, man. I'll keep on talking. So, the close protection is... We're talking about different parts of close protection and how I think the stereotype of what people do in close protection from a military background is doing hostile stuff in areas post-conflict, sometimes during conflicts, as contractors. You may know them as mercenaries, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Albeit, I've got a lot of mates who are doing that right now. You probably have as well, James, earning good money.
Yeah. I've got friends. Well, I've had the experience with friends who from the Corps who left the Corps. They got very disillusioned with the Corps, especially around the time of, probably around the time of 2010. This was when the money was big on the anti-piracy stuff. Do you remember?
I was just about to say, that's when lads popped smoke. There was,
I could earn £600 a day out there.
Yeah, and the rest in some cases, TLs and stuff. Yeah, I've seen the invoices. Lads, rightfully so, were leaving because they'd made a lot of... They paid mortgages off and some, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hang on a second. Take Orlando Rogers, Commander on the Front Line.
Yes. Do you want to tell people about that, actually? Yeah.
Orlando Rogers, I mean, rest in peace. Obviously he passed away. Sad story, really, because that guy there. I mean, obviously you see him on the show. I mean, he was a top officer. He was great to to kind of learn from and have as the troop commander. He was quite junior at the time. I remember.
He was younger than you, right?
Oh yeah. He was,
which is crazy.
Most of them were young. I mean, I was 24.
I was 24 when I joined.
H. Rob was younger than me. Wouldn't surprise me if Jim Glanfield was. I mean, I know he'll have a laugh with this. I don't know where his paper round was, Baghdad, but...
Same paper round as me, I think.
H. Quinn, obviously the troop sergeant, he had a few years on me, but Orlando Rogers, I think, was 21.
That's outrageous, isn't it? To be not just getting through like 64 weeks of officer training, but senior enough to be able to jump back into a troop role and in a training capacity. I mean, it's impressive.
Well, he left the Corps and he went off and he set up his own CP company during the anti-piracy heyday. The good times.
And he made, the company instantly made a crazy amount of money, didn't it?
He at the time when he passed, obviously in that tragic accident, I believe, with the small aeroplane.
Yeah.
I mean, he was certainly, set for life, I should imagine. That's for me to comment on someone's, financial situation. But I'm sure he was a millionaire. I'm sure his company was...
I'm pretty sure it was turning over millions and millions, from what I recall.
Yeah.
Fair play to the lad. He was a smart man, wasn't he? So, it's just a shame how it turned out, really. But this is the industry, really, Close protection, maritime, really big 2010. Seems to be picking back up, though. I've been doing this on and off since about 2017 now. Yeah. It's picking right up. The differences of hostile stuff to what you kind of do now. Yeah. Just to paint the picture for people, because what you do, and I know this, I'm not going to tell people specifics. I've got a really, really good job in close protection. If you see me, you'll know what I'm doing. It's very over out there kind of protective role, albeit a very important one. It's international news if it goes wrong, but it's very out there. You know what I'm there for.
Yeah.
I can imagine you're not really out there, and you know what you're there for. Even still, you're still kind of hiding in the shadows, aren't you? Really.
So the services that I would provide, the services that would get me the type of work that I would get. The client that wanted my particular skill sets would be someone who wanted close protection, wanted someone to have eyes on them, wanted someone to be there, but also wanted to have the freedoms of movement, didn't want to draw attention to themselves, and didn't want to feel like someone was on their shoulder. And that's where, obviously, Ryan from the SRR, that's where the surveillance skill comes in. I would literally be out with my client and I would hold them in a surveillance capacity for the whole day. They knew at any given time I had eyes on them in the situation, but they had the freedoms to do what they wanted. They didn't have that. What's that person got that person standing there for? And
I'd imagine even if so.
The actual term for it is protective surveillance, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd imagine, I'm just trying to picture it as an onlooker who's on task. I'm on task now. I'm overtly looking after someone. I am on their shoulder, and no one's getting near them. Yep. You're behind probably's even me, watching all of this unfold, and you're pinging people. Meanwhile, I've probably's not pinged you. Is that how it is? Or
that's the protective surveillance part of it.
See, this is nothing. What I have no real kind of understanding or knowledge of that type of stuff. I just don't have to do it.
There's advantages and disadvantages to it. Obviously, the advantage is that the client has their freedoms and they don't have any attention on them, because CP brings attention, doesn't it? Who's that person there with all those people around them? You know, it brings attention.
People suddenly want to know, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is you haven't got that physical deterrent, and I can do both roles. I've done both roles. Okay, I've been in the clubs in Monaco, where I've been there in a private table full of girls, the typical type of scenario, and a lot of guys are looking in on a table. They're drunk, they've had a drink, they want to try it on. They start trying to encroach in, and I've done it. I've been that 17 stone of muscle presence, and I've simply just stood there, got out my seat, and the guys are gone. It's a law. It's whether I can fight or not. It's the basic law of nature, isn't it?
With men,
the peacock with the biggest feathers.
Yeah, you size each other up, don't we?
Grizzly bears. I mean, the biggest grizzly bear, just has to stand up, and it's sod this. Yeah, and that's what I used to do in the clubs in Monaco. Some guy would come in, he'd want a piece of the table because of the girls on there and that, and I'd simply just stand up and I'd look and I'd shake my head and I'd say, "Not today, mate." And he'd say, "Do you know what? I don't want that here," and he'd move away. And do you know what? For me, job done. There's been no altercation. There's been no hands-on. There's been no involvement of police, no involvement of anyone. No one's got hurt. No one's got their shirt ripped.
It works.
Mate, and that's what you're there for as a CP officer, to get the job done,
Yeah. I think and you've just clearly defined certain roles there. CP isn't a one-shoe-fits-all in terms of job roles. I mean, bloody hell, we can be going all night about different types of roles,
Mate, sorry, can I just say, I've then done like the kind of looked after my clients in the corporate setting, and I've been there with like a set of glasses on and a suit, and a baggie of suits, but my bill didn't come through, and that's it. Mate, I'm just another office boy.
It's crazy how the appearance is like. There's some roles where they don't want you to even look intimidating as well, like at all. They want you to be very much standoffish and just report back what's going on. Yeah. And then you get the guys, like you said, some of the clients want the big grizzly bears, don't they? Very much want to be protected.
Do you know? And I mean, do you know what? The celebrities want that look, don't they?
They do. And why? I know what for. There's a lot of, I don't want to say ego, but you've got to like attention if you want to be on stage anyway, right? You're kidding yourself. Can you get an introvert celebrity entertainer? I don't know. You're in the wrong job probably as if you are an introvert, but that's not for me. I know it's certainly not for you. So having the big grizzly bear, and there's some massive monsters in this game, and they look the part for the right people, don't they?
That's it. I mean, the job I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing a lot of exclusive events out in the Mediterranean. It's party season out there, and I walk into. I mean, listen, my job at the moment. I mean, I have to kick myself into touch sometimes and say, "James, check yourself." Right, mate, we all whinge. It's a bootneck thing, isn't it?
Me and you, we drip each other every day, don't we?
We drip all the time, but sometimes you have to go, right, hang on a second, right? What am I dripping about? Right, I'm in a hotter climb.
Tops off, tats out.
I'm in the sun. I'm in the VIP area. This table would probably cost me somewhere in the region of 25 large if I had it. And what I do is I sit there, Ryan, and mate, I blend in. I'll go for the oversized t-shirt. I'll have my gold Ray-Bans on. I got my chain out. I'm doing this.
When you're doing this, I thought you were going to say, "I've got my monocle on." What kind of look is this guy going for?
Mate, I'm doing my typical SRR thing that I used to do, like maybe in downtown Kabul. Like, what do these people look like? Okay, I've got to blend in here.
So are you telling me the current look is you've been blending in with the Mediterranean party goers? Is that what?
Mate, this is it, mate. Listen, mate, I even I'll take it to the extremes that I'm trying to score on the street.
Fucking hell. Guys, we've just gotten admittance. James is still on task. You're still on task, aren't you?
Mate, and I sit there in the VIP, and do you know what I do? The first thing I do is I go in there and I'm like, let's play spot the security.
Yeah,
you look around at all the other tables, right, Ryan, and there's that dude, skinny black jeans, the tightest baby Gap black polo top on.
He's got his OC trainers on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got his OC, and he's got that bag wrapped around his chest. He's got his bum bag on.
Yeah,
and he's stood there like that. And you know, he's just outside the area, and mate, I was in this VIP area the other day, and I was hanging out with this LA Lakers player, and every time I went close to him to have a chat, I looked over and I could see CP looking at me like, mate, chill, man. Listen, I'm part of your game, all right? I'm with you, all right? But mate, he was. He had the bag on. He had the tight t-shirt. I mean, mate.
Can I be honest? Do you know what I think? And I don't know if you think this. I've got a couple of good mates who are civvies, right? Never done a bit of military in their life, and they do really well in the grizzly bear CP roles, like the
mate,
big dudes, right?
Yeah, mate, I've had those. But the guys that I know that used to do that, they used to do this before the SIA came in, so it was more. It was more about.
You had to be hard-kissed.
Well, there's a guy I actually know who, I mean, he was just friends with a bunch of 2-2 guys. That's all he was. But he was a hard man from the area. I mean, like he was a debt collector doorman. He was a nasty man who, I'll be honest with you, to this day he's paying the price for the stuff that he's done. Not through the law and that, but he's paying the price mentally. He's got some serious mental issues. But he tells me stories about how because he knew these 2-2 guys and they thought a lot of him because of his, you know, his physical prowess. You know, his street
counts a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, his kind of street awareness. You know, his street nonce or street ounce, or whatever it is. He went to the Congo during the diamond times.
Yeah, that was horrendous.
Mate, the stories he's come back with.
Mate,
I mean, he was lucky to come back.
Lads were generally like you were generally fighting with weapons. Mate, shooting people, and it was nuts.
And if it went wrong, you was going to be put in a set of tyres that were going to have gasoline poured all over them, set on fire, but to fit you in those tyres, they'd have chopped your arms off.
Yeah, that's it. You put through meat grinders over these places, aren't you?
Oh, mate, like the stories he's come back with. But this was in the days when, you know, you could get these jobs because there was no kind of like. I mean, it's heavily SIA.
Wasn't really regulated in that regard, was it?
No, it's not regulated. Yeah,
I think what do you see is let's talk about the opportunities from. Yeah, let's go from the Royal Marines up in terms of how do you think that sets lads up? Because I know a lot of Royal Marines, right? One of my best mates who's just left the military, the Marines. I was telling him, get his CP badge, get into it, and his self-esteem thinks that he couldn't do that type of role. Well, you've been in the Marines for 15 years. It kind of sets you right up for certain roles within close protection. But I see a lot of civilians coming into this game, doing well in some areas. But then some of the civilians who aren't that big 17, 18 plus stoner, haven't got military background, haven't got a fighting background, but they've got the course. Now, I think many people think of that course as the be-all and end-all, when really, mate, I'll be honest with you, I didn't learn a thing on my course that I didn't already know.
Yeah.
Like,
mate,
it's...
My experience in the SF world is what has fueled the majority of my CP career. It's been the fact that someone wants someone like me who can search a room for covert devices to make sure they're not being spied on.
And have the facility, the capability to be able to do that pretty quick as well, you know?
The understanding of how to do that effectively. You know, I've done, talking about CP, more... the private surveillance world as well, you know, matrimonial affairs.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
People who, you know, their partners are cheating on them. There's a lot of assets at stake. They, you know, people, prenups, people who want to know, people of high net worth who want to know if the person they're going to marry has got good intentions. So they put surveillance on them, you know, and I started to do surveillance in the commercial sector.
How would that work then?
Well, how,
so
if
if I was a company or a person thinking, how would So you get a job for a surveillance job for like a matrimonial issue, husband, wife situation. How does that work? What does it look like for you as a former SRR operator now doing like private surveillance? What's it? Because we know what a typical day in Helmand looked like for you or wherever. Yeah. What does that look like?
As a former SR operator, you are top of the pile for those jobs if you've got the contacts. As you know, the CP world, I'd say 50% of it is networking, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
who holds the contract? Is he a bootneck? Well, he's probably going to recruit bootnecks, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's heavily reputationally influenced. If you've got a shit reputation as a shit bloke,
you're out,
mate. And word spreads, man. It spreads. So, with regards to the private surveillance world, as an SR operator, you're top pickings. You are top pickings. Other top pickers would be, people who come from MI5 surveillance. Another one would possibly be police surveillance. But I would say if a company had a bunch of guys in front of them and they had to put the team together,
picking them lads, the SF.
They're going to pick the SR operator and the 5 operator and the MI5 operator, former MI5 operator, over anyone else from any other background. I mean, that was my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that. So, what I do is, it is at the top of the pile in terms of work, but that little step above. In certain areas, I've noticed, even within my current area, all of the lads who, without question, get the roles. Without question. I've got to fight, and I've had to develop, and I've had to push for years to maybe get into a position where that guy, quite literally, rightfully so, walks into it straight away. Yeah. And although it might seem frustrating, you can't get away from that skill set of an SF guy, and I thought being a bootnet would get me into everywhere, and it actually doesn't. It was humble pie for a long time. I've done it since 2017, and I've been eating humble pie ever since.
Yeah, but the definitely having the SF tick in the box on your CV, it carries a lot of weight in the CP world, a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Do you know what else holds a lot of weight in the CP world, James? As well, I've noticed on par with. Not for every job, but for certainly what I'm doing now. If you come from a Royal Military Police, specifically close protection unit, them guys jump into everything and anything. Them guys are, because they're phenomenal at what they do,
Is it because of their abilities, or is it also because the network? Like, you're RMP, we look after each other.
It's definitely a lot of because of the network. I must say, it's because there's a lot of them. You see, so it's when on paper you look at that and go, ex-copper, okay, that's good in terms of the type of person you get to de-escalate a situation, especially in the public eye jobs, because they want you to do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, a company will get shut down if you do something wrong or wrong enough. So they're the type of people you'd like to think are doing the right thing, but they've got the close protection element, which. It's the best of the tier 2 services, put it that way. In terms of like Royal Marines, Paras, Infanteers, close protection by them guys, it's the best course. It's amazing. I'm not talking about you. You've got an SF Bodyguard course as well, haven't you? Which is obviously going to be something pretty special.
But they're going to. I mean, with that, they're probably just they're going to teach you to kind of like dampen down, guys.
Don't kill the client.
Yeah, we're going to teach you politeness. We're going to teach you about opening doors. We're going to teach you about, getting bags out of boots.
Don't positive step the door, then kick it in.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is carrying bags, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, mate, we'll come on to that. But with regards to the private surveillance, a typical kind of day, let's take a London job, for example. Most of the time, it's going to be in your typical areas because the cost of a surveillance team, a private surveillance team, it's not cheap. So anyone who's paying for it, and again, these are high net worth individuals because they're only paying for it because there's a lot of matrimonial assets at stake, and the stakes are high for them. Most of the areas you tend to work in, for me, it's always been kind of a box from Oxford Street to Park Lane to Bond Street to Piccadilly. It's always been in a box. and you just bounce around
very well.
You know, you're literally like, oh God, we're at Phoenix again. We're at Louis Vuitton again.
I mean, it's really, I mean, at them levels when you're looking at, especially like maybe women, it's very, very predictable.
Oh, mate, yeah. Oh, honestly, we've
go for their park run in Hyde Park for a little bit. Yeah.
But now, let me say, there is a disadvantage. There's a disadvantage in the beginning. It wasn't so much with me, because I also done a lot of surveillance with the police. So with the police, you learn to push boundaries because you have the environment to push boundaries. You know, especially in London. London, you can push boundaries.
Push boundaries in what way? What do you mean?
Well, compared to doing surveillance in military hostile areas where you've really got to think, what does this move mean for me? What does this move mean for my team? Not so much what does this move also, what does this move mean? Not just for me and my team in this present moment, but what does this move mean for the next team that comes out? Because if there's a pattern that starts, like I might be putting someone else's life at risk by doing something bone here on this job now, but it might not be on this job. It might be on the next one. It might be on another one 2 weeks down the line, where a hostile entity has gone, hang on a second.
I remember something from, what
the fuck's going on here?
I'm going to have a look at this.
So that as a military surveillance operator, that's what you're thinking of. And now all of a sudden you're thrown into the commercial sector where someone is paying a lot of money for a service, and they want.
And what you're doing needs to happen today type thing.
Yeah, and you're holding back. You're holding back because you're like, what's my exposure like? And after a while, you begin to learn with the commercial surveillance, this commercial, surveillance world. Fuck my exposure. Yeah, I'm not going to blow it, but
doesn't matter as much,
mate. No one gives a damn about what I'm doing on Berkeley Square. No one gives a shit, man. What the hell? Like, check yourself.
Well, you could be an Amazon delivery driver, couldn't you? Looking for a door,
mate. You can just be a local. You could just be a normal London mental health patient. The amount of, there's enough lunatics on the street talking to themselves or doing bone stuff.
Who's that guy sitting on my step?
Oh, yeah, mate, honestly.
Who's that guy chuntering onto himself? Weren't you on that TV programme?
But, so, yeah, that's where I found that a lot of guys who had just come out of the SF world or surveillance world, military surveillance in particular, you'd have to put them to one side and you have to say, look, I understand it, I've been there, but we're working in a different environment here, I mean, listen, your subject who you're watching, they don't know they're being watched. They're not doing anything of like an insurgency kind of like threat.
Yeah, you haven't got like an OP set up on Hyde Park, have you?
No.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
So that was the thing that used to stand out about the surveillance, because I've done CP, I've done close protection, I've done protective surveillance, I've done close protection from the point of view of technical close protection, technical surveillance countermeasures, made sure that my clients weren't being followed, weren't being listened to, weren't being watched through technical means, etc. Checking vehicles for trackers and stuff like that.
Were you doing security advanced stuff, or would you normally find that in that situation you'd send guys probably like me on them advanced parties to do that type of stuff first, or would there ever be a need for someone like you to go and do like an advanced recce?
What you mean? You mean like a recce of say a venue or something like that?
So like
I've done those before, but again, it's all down to your client. It's all down to your client's appetite for it. The clients that I've worked for, one, they haven't had the threat around them. They haven't, I mean, the current person I work with works in the entertainment industry, but they're not like a household name. So that's brilliant for me. That's fantastic for me.
Yeah, that works.
It really takes the pressure off of me.
It's strange being with clients who actually, I mean, I've got a number under my belt right now who actively have like death threats and sentences involved in them just existing on this planet, And it's a weird one, because then you go, well, I'm not in a hostile environment, but today could be hostile.
Yeah,
and that's strange. That's strange for me on the streets of like the UK. You know, looking after someone who's people want to kill. You know, and you're there to stop that. You know,
mine from that point of view, I'd probably say is more. You know, obviously the people that I work for, majority of them successful males. With that comes, maybe quite an attractive female on the arm.
Yeah.
And his concern is she okay when I'm not there? And that's where the CP comes in. Like anything from can you make sure she gets to the bathroom okay in the nightclub? To can you drive her around
tonight? Yeah. This is so it's not as glamorous as what it can be. Very glamorous in many ways, but it's not. If you come into this game, as even for the ex-military guys wanting to get into this, thinking that you're literally going to be the guy protecting people all the time, and when you're off shift, that's it, it's over. But when you're back on, you're back to protecting again. Actually, a lot of even the high protective stuff that I've done. A lot of it involves a lot of shit-borne gash stuff that you would never think they would utilise a CP bod for. Like, I remember, I'll not mention the client, he's dead now, he was a billionaire. I remember my first task of the day was picking up about 30, 40 dog shits, in a pail, in a bucket pail, spewing my guts up, thinking, what am I doing? What the hell am I doing? I'm working for this dude, and... I'm picking up dog shit for an hour straight before I start anything.
I haven't had a dog shit deal, I have to admit that.
Well, I was in Delta, wasn't I? So,
but maybe my SFCV got me out of that dog shit deal.
Yeah, there was it was.
but what I have had is can you pop down to the pharmacy and get me some medication and do you know what? Again, this is where you have to pull yourself into check. You sit there and you gripe about it, but I do sit there and I think, hang on a second. Whoa,
not bad, is it?
Listen. You get paid quite well, and if your job today is that you have to drive to a pharmacy and you've got to go and pick up some medication, mate, then if that's what you're getting paid for,
fucking do it.
Check yourself, mate.
Yeah.
All right? It's just the bootneck way, isn't it, mate?
I don't know what it is about dripping, because I think dripping almost makes us. Look, I'm not even joking. We do speak probably every day with a massive drip about something,
mate,
don't we?
It's the first thing that comes in the conversation, isn't it?
You never guess what I mean. I'm fucking doing this. It's like, yeah, but mate, that's not too bad actually.
Yeah, mate. Listen. Right. Take for example at the moment. Yeah, I got friends back here who if it's not -5 in the winter and they're doing scaffolding and roofing.
That's hard graft, isn't it?
It's 30 degrees in the summer and they're doing scaffolding and roofing.
Yeah.
And I'm in the exclusive venues. I've got a chef cooking for me. I mean, thousands of pounds a night accommodation. I'm in the sun. I get to train twice a day at the moment.
And I'll tell you what he texts me 10 o'clock at night. This music, they're fucking blasting my ears out. This music. It's like, mate, you used to fucking pay for that 20 years ago.
Oh mate, I know, innit? Yeah. Oh mate, yeah. Tell me about it. I mean, yeah, it's a strange one. I mean, listen, my CP career. I mean, I've been on global jets, flying around the world. I've been, £25,000 a night villas in the Caribbean. I'm eating steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See,
that's the high end of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's
does that come with the SF experience? You think? I think it because that's not mine.
Yeah, my current role and my last two roles have been the requirement for my services in the first place, which admittedly they evolved and developed, or maybe devolved. And
so, yeah, you get the figures. Yeah,
yeah. the want for my skill sets as a former SR operator which is what led me to the job and got me the job.
Interesting, because I'm just aware of people who are watching this, because we get messages all the time.
Yeah. Sorry. Can I just say, Ryan, with regards to that, and also understand sometimes, actually, I'd say every single time, the only person in the pool for the job selection was me. Because how many we spoke about this. How many former SR operators are there, particularly in the southeast, who are within driving distance of London, who
age
are
group
currently
as well.
Age group, who are currently available and willing to take this opportunity, this position, and it's not accommodated, so they have to come in. Mate, the poll all of a sudden goes to zero, if not just you.
It's crazy though, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is where the benefit of the this is where you look back and you think, do you know what? It was a hard graft. It was shit. Sometimes I question why me? Why am I here? Why wasn't I shot in that contact? Why wasn't I blown to bits in that mine? Why me? But then you think, like, all of that there has got me to this point here where, we've all got to go out and earn a living. Most of us do anyway, unless we're born with a silver spoon in our mouths.
Yeah, and this is kind of like life after the military.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys go into trades and jobs, right, that don't look like the career they had in the Marines or the Paras or SF or whatever. And I've found the lads who are, and this is generalising it, but it's genuinely what I've seen, because I was part of that small group as well. I went into something very, very different. I got into like the corporate world of a bank effectively for the first year when I left the Corps.
Yeah.
Although it was a great job, mint pay, I got in because of like my quals that I got through police troop and stuff, and they thought of me quite highly. I absolutely hated it because it was so different to what I'd come from. The physicality, the functional side of being a Marine, you're academic in a functional way, in a physical way. It's a very, very manly, burly environment where you get to utilise yourself as an alpha male for that task. Specifically as an alpha male as well. That's the key. Into a job where, none of that shit matters anymore. And I was very upset. And when I look at lads who tend to do all right outside, believe it or not, I think the CP industry does do us, although we drip about it, you get to tap into a little bit of that, whatever it was that was sparking you in the military, specifically our world. Yeah. You're protecting someone, and whether you like it or not, that's tapping into something that you like to do.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Listen, when I'm on the club night, right, at the moment, and my client leaves the VIP area, and they leave there a bit early because they know there's going to be a rush, and I'm watching them, and I watch them leave, and they just walk off, and they go off on this little route going through the club, and I've got surveillance on them, I'm watching them, and then I pop out in front of them up at the backstage area. Oh, James. Yep, listen, just making sure car's ready for you. We're ready to go whenever you want, all right? There's a route out there for you. I relish that. I just that tiny little detail.
That little bit of interaction there.
That bit there. I'm like...
I know what you mean.
I'm earning my money.
Yes.
This is what you employed me for.
I speak to so many lads and I tell them, I spoke to a lad yesterday who's like doing this and he's hating it and he's depressed, blah, 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 but he likes nothing. And then when you listen to them, he's like, I don't know, he might have been like a mortarman in the Marines or something. You think, yeah, because what you're doing now doesn't represent any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like this world, I get to tap into it, even if it's a couple of times a week, looking after someone. Yeah. I am there because of what I can do when push comes to shove, physically and mentally, make the right decision. And I know that I'm the right guy. I know that sounds brazen, but you're the right guy at what you were doing as well.
Yeah, mate.
And there's something about feeling wanted and needed for that. It makes you feel happy.
Yeah. Honestly, there is a lot of guff details with my job at the moment. I mean, there is. But it's part and parcel of the CP world, all right?
It's part and parcel,
The thing is, because you have to understand, in the CP world, you are the face that they see straight away. You're the face, you're the cold face with them.
Yeah.
So if there's something that they need, I mean...
You're that guy, aren't you?
Right. I've had clients who've got an eye infection, and I've gone and got them the eye drops, and I've looked at them and I've gone, you want me to put them in, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they've gone, yeah. And I've gone, all right, get down on your knees.
And I'll put them in later.
Mate, no, seriously. And there I am. Like, no, open up your eye. No, pull your eyelid back. What the fuck am I doing, man? But mate,
yeah, but you think that. But you know what's going on in their head? Like, you are the that there's a trust there, isn't it, with that, you know?
There is, mate. But it makes you laugh because, mate. But I remember saying it to him. I looked in for a moment. I paused. I went, "You want me to put your eye drops in, didn't you?" And they went, "Yeah."
Yes, please.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it's weird. I get. Look, there's. I think we'll continue with a couple of these because I know there's some good stories that we could probably talk about. I've got a few. We'll delve into this a little bit more. There are going to be some questions off this. My hope actually is. You know what,
I think it's.
Go on, mate.
I think the viewers hopefully will really like this episode because I get it a lot on my TikTok lives, which I just want to say, listen, I'm going to try and go back to the TikTok lives. I wanted to do some this week and last week because I've kind of been off, but I've kind of brought a little chest infection back. I wanted to do some of the fitness stuff again. I mean, because I've been training twice a day where I am, and I've, really, really hammered the kettlebells, got in some good shape and feeling pretty damn strong. Just a shame I picked up this chest infection around the time I did it. But I remember a lot of the, what do you do now? What do you do now? What's your job now? How'd you get into that? What's it like? What's the opportunities after the military? It's a big topic, and it's a big I think the
one that's appealing is like it's certainly not a 9 to 5, is it?
Oh, no, mate, it's not.
You can be grafting your arse off, but honestly, you can also have nothing for weeks.
Yeah,
and it's pros and cons in both.
Yeah, I mean, I've been.
It's a strange industry.
I understand, but I'm very lucky and very fortunate to have a constant client. I mean, even if they're away, with my role, I will dig out blind for them when they're here. Not because they've told me, in a month's time I'm going away, but I have got access to a schedule in one way, shape or form, and I look at it and I make my assessments. All right, I can see you're going there at this time. I don't think you're going to need me, so it's all right. You can beast me at the moment, and God knows, you do get beasted. Because that maybe in a few weeks' time you're going to get 3 weeks off and it's going to be paid.
Yeah. I think all in all, though, for characters like us, lads who've came from similar type of background, it is a good industry. I would say I would prefer more of our own to come into this industry than not, personally, because...
Well, mate, again, like I said, I have to pull myself into touch, Ryan, because mate, good. I used to crawl around in lofts as an electrician, smashing my knees up to bits on joists, breathing in fiberglass and rock wool.
And you've got to clock out at the exact same time every day, and you're there doing your 8 and 9 hours, and it's just rinse and repeat, isn't it?
And now, when I'm in the UK, I'm driving around in a £250,000 car.
Yeah. It's not work, is it, when you're doing something that you're skilled in and you like to do, really? It doesn't feel like work for me.
Yeah, I'm not breathing in that rock wall and that fiberglass, and my knees are not getting smashed up on those joists. I'm making out the electrician's the hardest trade going. I know it's not, guys. Don't worry. I know that you roofers and you scaffolders and you plasterers have it. Plasterer's elbow.
Hideous. Yeah, not for me. So, I think I've got one or two more things I want to expand on. It probably is in the next episode, actually, guys. This is just me and James, believe it or not, getting back into things because it has been a while. Magazine's back on, yeah. But I want to kind of finish on the note we kind of brought up to start with regards to the business, because this is not like I know people throw around ideas and stuff. Trust, this is not an idea. We've made this happen. It's out there. Our first product will be with us probably 3 weeks or so, ready to sell. Do you want to expand on that, actually, James, or shall we hold it back? What are you thinking?
No, I think so. Listen, we said let's sponsor ourselves. What's a product that we believe in? I mean, people will probably know that quite a lot of my profile is fitness orientated. A lot of the talk is fitness orientated because we come from that military background. A lot of the questions we get are how do I get fit? How do I get stronger? How do I get fitter for the Marines? Products that we believe in. One product that I particularly believe in, and I drink these all day long, and I like to think at the age of nearly 44, I'm still training pretty damn. I've still got that Peter Pan mindset that comes with the bootneck with the Marines, and I still climb a 30-foot rope. I'll do a dozen muscle ups easy, and a lot of that I put down to the nutrition I put in my body.
Absolutely.
And I drink amino acids all day long, day long. So what is it, Ryan? We had a discussion, and we said, why don't we bring out our own amino acid?
Yeah.
And we were, we were lucky enough to come across a supplier in the UK. So, just like our soldiers, UK made, it all comes in with the brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
A UK-based supplier who has created for us a BCAA drink. However, we've also added glutamine and creatine. So it's a 3-in-1. And for me, I loved this because I was telling you, Ryan, on top of my fridge, I've got my creatine, I've got my amino acid, I've got my glutamine. I get 3 tubs down, put them in, and I do this every time before I work out, after I work out. I'll do this at night when I go to bed. So when I wake up at night and I'm a bit thirsty, I've got my amino acids next to me in the bed and I drink them. Now I've got this all-in-one drink that covers 1 scoop. I've got my creatine, I've got my BCAA, and I've got my glutamine. I've got my BCAAs, I believe heavily in amino acids. Obviously, the biggest amino acid you've got is glutamine. That is the most abundant one in the muscles. And I've got my creatine, which I've said on my TikToks, I've started taking creatine probably in the last couple of years, and it was one of those products which when I started taking it again, I actually thought, why the hell did I ever leave this product?
It's a real performance, for what you can do with creatine. Like if you don't know what to start with and you're wanting to lift weights and wanting to sprint and stuff, you really can't go wrong with a good creatine. That's kind of how our conversation came up with what we generically take all the time. I always take, it doesn't matter whether I'm training or not, this is generic, just happy, healthy me. I drink BCAAs. That's it must be a bootneck thing, I don't know, but that's what I had, and I would supplement it with creatine as well. I would take the capsules, hate the capsules. The only one I didn't put in is an extra, and I know people take glutamine on its own like yourself. But that's when we came together and went, well, we're both doing I'm definitely doing the first 2, you're doing all 3. Let's make an all-in-one. There's not many all-in-ones out there with what we've just mentioned, guys. We've tried and tested this product as well.
Yeah, people paying for the 3 separate products when you can just get the all-in-one. For me, but when our samples came through, my samples have been caned. It's not just me that's caned
my wife smashed them in.
My missus, my kids, my little boy. Dad, can I have some of your amino acid drink? Yeah, sure, mate. Honestly, they're all gone. But more's going to be coming for us. Mate, I've lost my chain of thought there.
Yeah, so in taking the product and tried and tested it ourselves, we've had the samples through. We've got 3 definite flavours. We were going to just release 1, then we tried the other 2 samples, and we went, no, let's make them as well. So we've got 3 flavours coming out. All probably coming out at the same time, James, I would imagine.
Yeah, all coming out at the same time, yeah.
And it's you're going to see it. You're going to see it in the flesh very soon. Can't wait. It's going to be available. All the websites have been bought, emails and everything. It's all done. Yeah. It's all been done. Trademarking and everything.
Yeah. Trademarking's been done. And I really love the name. I love the name and I love the branding.
Frontline Nutrition.
Frontline Nutrition. Yeah. Listen. When the branding comes out, guys, when you see it, you're going to see. You'll be like, you know what? Yeah, that's good. That's a good name. That's a striking name. That's a name we remember.
But name again, that we believe in as well.
Yeah, it's a product that we believe in. I've always been very, very. I did a post about. I won't mention the brand, but one of my posts on my TikTok profile, a really good protein, and I even say I make the protein up, and there's a post where I make it, and I even go, this is really effective. It tastes like battery acid. It tastes like shit, but it's really effective. I'm really honest, and I've gone through my supplements. I've gone through everything. I've gone through testo boosters. I've gone through pre-workouts. I've gone through fat burning pills to nitrous oxide pills. Everything pumps like literally. Yeah. And for me, there's a few products. There's a few supplements out there which have stood the test of time, which have really worked for me. BCAAs, creatine, and
You really can't go wrong with it, can you? And it's a product that you can take all the time.
Yeah, creatine. I'm not saying the results are not as pronounced as PEDs, as steroids. You know, it's not. You're not going to take creatine and blow up like you're on Trembolone or Deca or.
But you're also not going to feel the negatives that you get off them supplements that blow you up as well.
But what I found with creatine is it has a pronounced and noticeable effect.
Absolutely.
Not on par with your strength, with your performance in the gym. And like I said, when I started taking creatine again, it was one of those ones where it was like a flash to bang moment in my head where I was like,
should have been taking this. Yeah.
Why did I even stop taking this?
Yeah, I stopped taking creatine for about 10 years and started taking it again with our own supplement because we've been trialing this for about a month now or so, had these through. Yeah. And the first one we got, I can't remember the flavour. It was like, it's glorious. Yeah, and the colours and the flavours. Look, we were talking about this before. This is the only thing I think you've been wrong on with it, not wrong on past stuff. And I'm not just saying this. This stuff, what it's got in it, is phenomenal nutritionally, but it tastes essence. It tastes
and you know
essence.
What? The other thing as well, I mean, the supplier we went to, British, which was great for us because it goes with the brand, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's homegrown. It's nothing from the Far East or anything like that. It's from the UK.
Safe and ready to go.
It's all natural flavourings.
Yeah.
It's all certified. It's all regulated.
It's got no shit in it, effectively.
Yeah. But I remember when he said I only use natural flavourings. I was like, oh, mate,
it's not going to taste. Yeah.
No. I was like, if this is a great tasting product as well, natural flavourings, because there's a lot of awareness coming out with additives and how bad they are for the body. And
absolutely, yeah. You're taking a product that should be good for you, and then it's got like all of this crap inside, and it's like, well, that's one thing that. Well, you were a big pusher on that, weren't you, with regards to the natural flavourings and stuff. Sometimes harder to get right with taste, but honest to God, guys, look, when you get it, you're going to see. I know for a fact the reviews are going to be phenomenal on this. It's phenomenal. Yeah. I'm gonna be my own biggest fan of it, to be fair, and it's our product, so I can't wait.
Mate, I've probably been buying the most tubs actually, if I'm honest. Not just for me, but for my missus and my kids. My kids are going to rinse it. Actually, I've got to have a chat with my kid's mum about it. She was like, I don't really want my boy taking creatine and BCAAs, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, man,
don't worry.
get it in him. Get it in him. I want my boy
food and stuff anyway. Jack's 6-year-old. So look forward to lots more stuff orientated around that as well, guys. Again, we're not just here sitting on our laurels trying to build podcasts and stuff, getting sponsorships and all that. We could have had sponsorships, we get emails all the time. We want to be honest to you guys. I have personally never put a single product out on my channel on the stuff off the podcast because I want to put something out that I would believe in. Me and James just went out. We've not just created the first thing, the flagship product, the BCAA blend with creatine and glutamine, but we've went and created a business off this. Why? Why have we done it properly from the start? And I mean, we've covered every single angle. Is because guess what? When this product flies off, we're going to be bringing you pre-workouts. We're going to be bringing you. We're going to go to the drawing board and design what's going to be the best form of protein to be able to give you guys in a shake. Well, we'll figure it out and we will give it to you. Yeah. So it's a lot of admin, a lot of work, a lot of headaches, but we're happy to do it. We're not sitting on our laurels with this.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's that. Next episode, figures few, I guess. James.
Yeah,
happy to be back, mate.
I am happy to be back and be doing stuff again. I'm going to get back on my socials, going to get back on a TikTok. I need to do some more fitness videos. My fitness training has completely changed. Where I've been out in the Mediterranean, I've been very much limited to a jump rope and a kettlebell, but Jesus, it's opened up my eyes to different forms of training, and it's kind of transformed my body. I'm a lot leaner, I'm a lot faster, I feel a lot better. Yeah.
There you go. Ships fizz, man. Can't beat it.
All good.
Happy
days.
Right, troops.
Yeah,
that's bang on an hour, actually. See you soon. Take it easy.
Catch you later.